I bet she voted in the Democratic primaries.
Welcome back to Best Spuds.
As you can tell, we still have not yet cleared up our...
No, we're still there.
There's a gas leak down here.
All right, so do we
The
think
fridge is wide open.
that it is for the best to go to a place with a tree or without a tree?
Oh, no.
We want to get rid of the dark ones.
I think all the places have trees, to be
They
fair.
don't.
Nope.
They don't.
5 of them do.
Gone.
Oh my god.
We have to get rid of the dark youngs to do all the...
Yeah, I ate one. What are you guys doing?
I was gonna go get money,
Oh.
but I guess I
you can
won't.
still get money there.
Alright, well, I feel like I'm winning then.
I'll organize a bake sale.
The Green New Deal is completely unfeasible.
The problem with the multi-tiered pseudo-religious doomsday cult was that it was, hypothetically, easy for someone in, say, the first circle to accidentally stumble on a ritual meant for the 5th circle or higher. So let's say someone had, hypothetically, summoned a transdimensional sludge monster to clean up a coffee spill. You see, if the whistleblower would just come forward, we wouldn't have these problems.
I don't acknowledge trans-dimensional creatures.
Nice. I see what you did. Let's say, hypothetically, a new, not-so-indoctrinated, very rich potential cult member had walked in on said someone, and just say the new church member had completely freaked out and was going to drop the bomb on the whole cult. How would you have dealt with it, hypothetically? If it was me, which it wasn't, I'd just kill them. Hypothetically, they had only seen a big pile of jelly.
That sounds like the most Kyle answer I've ever heard, except instead of jelly, replace it with peanuts.
None of these sound like they work for me, so I'm gonna go with pile of jelly. The churchgoer had run straight to where the service was taking place, slammed open the doors, and decried the entire congregation that the church was evil and in league with monsters. There was a murmuring as the congregation tried to make sense of the accusation. In you strolled contritely and explained to the crowd your fondness for Jell-O, how you had made a whole bathtub full of stuff and you had accidentally spilled it just as the churchgoer had entered. Relieved, the congregation laughed at the simple misunderstanding as you led the churchgoer out by the arm. As realizing that indoctrination probably was not going to work now, you restrained him till he could be sent for reconditioning. Which is how the popular vote was overturned in the elections in Florida. Gain 1 body. Wow, timely, Kyle.
Yeah, make a hanging Chad joke next, why don't you?
He returned a couple weeks later, a model parishioner, eagerly convincing others to enroll for reconditioning.
Did you guys know Al Gore invented the internet?
Big ups to my man Al Gore. Gain 1 influence and 1 riches. Oh, those are the things that I wanted. Hey, that worked nicely.
There you go.
Must be the rats, you thought in dismay. You had been helping Mrs. Wiggins in the kitchen in preparation for the lunchtime rush, but so far every dish you'd made has disappeared. Exasperated, you marched over to the pantry to start from scratch. Opening the doors, you let out a yelp as you come to face with the dark young, its cheeks stuffed with your missing dishes. It gave an unhappy belch. Everyone's a critic, you thought, preparing the worst.
Laugh track.
Offer up an artifact, take a good long look.
I think taking a long look just gets rid of sanity.
Yeah, I'm gonna offer up an artifact. You quickly rifle through your pockets to find a suitable artifact. Chagrined, you toss it at the monster's feet, and without blinking, which was an incredible feat for a monster with so many eyes, the dark young smashed the artifact with a gigantic hoof. Lose 1 magic. Dick. Magic dick, nice. You swear you saw it smile as you cried out at the loss. With your little toy ruined, Big Brother headed out to find some other sport. Fail.
That's still not bad, though.
I suck ass at those.
There's nothing at Town Hall.
He's there.
Oh, that makes sense.
He's always there.
Hob some knob.
Hob and knobs.
You were the type of person who really liked breathing and being part of a cult. Or being part of a cult where continuing to breathe was not guaranteed. It seemed prudent to plan ahead. With the ritual around the corner, it couldn't hurt to have the Eternal Coven backing up your vote. So you decided to use your political clout to smooch some witchy behinds.
Oh.
I'll smooch a witchy behind.
I know.
Hey!
You would come up with a brilliant idea. You would cause the implementation of a law that made flying on a broom on a Wednesday not constitute witchcraft. Then those poor persecuted witches could at least fly around on Wednesdays in peace.
That's nice.
Perhaps you should try DMing her the beginnings of a smoldering roleplay on Instagram.
Smoldering.
Asterisk, eyebrow wiggle, asterisk.
Oh,
Damn it.
Take her back to
I put on my cloak and wizard hat.
the where it goes would surprise you.
Needless to say, you might not be a fan of your new law, and without him there would be no passing it. Unfortunately, Anderson loved money more than he hated potential witches. I can't bribe him, so...
With your -7 money.
Campaign against the unfair treatment of witches.
Campagen.
In Fhtagn! Unwilling to fork up the cash, you instead decide to hold a bunch of town hall meetings where witches could explain their side of things.
Unfortunately, it was held on a Wednesday. They couldn't fly there.
Unfortunately, things didn't go quite as planned, and the whole thing became what was in later years known as the Arkham Witch Trials. The public was immensely grateful for all of the witches you had brought to justice and to influence. Whoops. Loose 2, not it. Great. Sick.
Maybe great.
No, bad. That means I can be sacrificed.
Oopie doopie.
Whatever. Laura.
Oop diddy boop diddy.
You said titty.
Whoop-de scoop de hoop.
Oh, that's not.
Oh,
Whoop-de scoop
What?
de whoop. Whoop-de scoop.
that is far more timely.
It is very.
I like the one at the hotel because he's just like hiding behind it.
You can't see me.
Yeah, that's cute.
I'm John Cena.
There's a whole ass building in the way.
It's Gimbo. Gambling.
Debt consolidation!
Money and influence.
Yeah, but
One night Marguerite came by our booth crying. Marguerite was one of Madame Fufu's best exotic dancers with a silhouette reminiscent of the Himalayas. Nice. There was a lot of sobbing and running mascara involved, but what you could piece out was this. Marguerite's sister Camille was abducted while traveling in France by a French cult calling themselves the Cultists de Ghouls. Apparently,
God, what's it
Camille
mean?
is said to be the next sacrifice in some horrible ritual.
I looked away. I'm sorry.
Now you're no stranger to horrible sacrifices, but no Frenchie was going to sacrifice an American woman. That was your job.
USA.
USA, going guns blazing.
USA!
I'm the trash man.
Build that wall.
Oh
Build
no.
that wall.
Oh no.
Yes, let me find my red baseball cap. Standing in the cool French night air, you take time to enjoy your cigarette. With a flick, you send the stump flying down into the manhole. A soft pretzel below gives you a good estimate of the distance to the sewer floor. You take the moment to check out that bar strapped to your back was secure, that you could easily access the grenades on your belt, and finally that you had 2 shells in your sawed-off shotgun. Satisfied, you cock your 2 M1911s and jump down the hole. Everything seemed to go in slow motion. Zombies and ghouls gracefully floated through the air as grenades slowly boomed in their midst. Cultists slowly keeled over backwards as fresh fountains of blood slowly appeared from their bodies. It was really cool. The last of the cultists fell to the ground. You walked over to Camille and cut her loose from the ruined altar. Being the hero felt pretty good, you thought, as you put another bullet into a twitching zombie. Gained 1 sanity.
Twitch
Also,
zombies.
all these magical artifacts lying around are pretty sweet. And 1 magic. Pass!
Nice.
I prefer my zombies on Mixer, not Twitch.
The Epic Game Store is a mistake and an abortion.
I don't even acknowledge it. I cannot wait for Borderlands 3 to get released. Because I don't acknowledge it coming out since it's only on the Epic Store. Epic Game Store. More like Epic Fail Store.
Ooh, they were gonna say lame. That works too.
You were bored, like really bored.
Oh, there's a game happening.
Yeah.
There is?
What?
It's
Allegedly.
either been a really super slow week at the shop, or you've already tried about everything you could think of to entertain yourself. Swapped. Swapped?
That. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's somewhere between swooped and swapped, but swapped has an A.
Of the grimoires and the romance novels.
I'm gonna go ahead and just blame this on them being European.
Yeah.
Wow.
Color spelling weirdos.
SWOU.
Favorat.
Hair removal to Finkelstein's wondrous volume enhancing shampoo.
Makes your shampoo
Check.
louder.
Poke
Shampoo!
the flying monkeys with a stick. Check and note to self, you probably shouldn't do that again. Things that can fly and throw poop at the same time should probably be left alone.
That's why we can't let witches fly on Wednesdays.
Most birds.
Birds.
There were literally the only two things that you haven't tried yet. You could stare into the eyes of the visage of madness, or you could see how long you could hold out before your brain melted, or you could try to solve an ancient Chinese puzzle box, which legend has it contained the secret of the universe.
I prefer my puzzle boxes to be not outsourced from China.
I'm gonna do the one from China. The
You're
puzzle
the
box
real
of Liu
problem
Mang
here.
Ping had been unsolved for several thousand years. Give or take a few centuries.
Whatever. What's few
The
centuries
great
between
philosophers,
friends?
scholars, and scientific minds of the world I've ever seen have tried and all failed to solve it. Now, it was a good thing that most of them were dead, because to watch you chew your bubblegum and say, 0, I get it, would have killed them on the spot anyway.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be, I get it.
It's the Nick spelling of O.
Yeah. With a turn, a press and a click, the puzzle box slid open and revealed the secret of the universe!
Bathtub full of jello.
I knew it was going to say 42.
Boo.
Cute.
Boo.
Oh, come on, it's cute.
Boo.
It was cute 50 years ago when the fucking book came out!
Yeah, but this was 7,000 years ago that they had put it down. Learn to read, Colin!
Boo.
42.
Oh.
Oh, I get it. He smiled again.
Nick, it clearly says 0, I get it, alright?
0, I get it.
Give me the controller. Wait, unless you got a thing. You have a thing.
Oh,
Your thing.
you'd been struggling with the particular summoning spell for hours now. You had to admit that this happened a lot frequently.
Yeah, Laura had this earlier.
Ready to give up, you were surprised to... Oh, okay.
Eat it.
Yeah.
Eat it.
No, I'm not
Eat
going
it
to
like
eat it.
I
I'm going to do
did.
the other one.
Eat it.
Eat it.
Do what Laura did. It works always.
Do it. Eat it.
Offered an acolyte.
Ooh.
Or I can offer up an artifact.
Eat it.
I think offering an artifact is magic.
Well, I
and-
definitely have that.
Yeah, because I lost magic when I tried.
I'm going to offer it an artifact.
What is
Nick,
it?
wait.
Yes?
Since you already have 0 for influence, you could just go into negative influence and offer an acolyte.
Yeah.
Why does he want negative influence?
Because he has
Yeah,
a
because
lot
so he
of
doesn't
magic.
sacrifice his other good stuff.
That's fair. But I think if I fail, nothing happens. But if I pass, I get something.
Nice.
He's an individual
So I'm gonna try an artifact.
thinker. He doesn't need your help, Colin.
You quickly rifle through your pockets to find a suitable artifact.
Oh, this is the same thing that happened
That's
when I
Kyle's
did it.
favorite word.
I love a chagrin.
Chagrined. You
like
toss it
chagrin.
to the monster's feet without blinking,
I do say chagrin from time to time. It's true.
which was an incredible feat for a monster. With oh, god damn it!
Yeah, same thing I got. Lost one magic.
You swear you saw it smile as you cried out at the loss. Dear, I should have gave it a no.
Yeah, you should have killed somebody.
Damn it!
Gimme.
Here you go. Eliza.
Eliza. So Nick is winning by a lot. You got 3 whatevers that round?
Yeah,
Good job, Nikki.
I'm good.
I lost 2.
Cycle 6.
6.
Trees are on all the same spots.
Yeah,
so I
we have
want
to get rid of them.
money and influence. Let's see, is there any place where I can do both? Yes, town hall.
When life is getting you lonely, you can always go.
I'm not going downtown.
We almost made it through one without him doing it.
I
Town
know.
hall.
Town hall.
2
Town
influence,
hall.
1 riches. Town hall is abuzz with the news that the governor will be visiting Arkham and a grand gala will be held in his honor. With a U. Having such a powerful ally would certainly not hurt your plans, whatever they may
Full
be.
Americans, am I right?
Unfortunately, Governor Bennett was a very rigid and incorruptible man, but you know for a fact that he makes no decision without the counsel of his superstitious wife, Prudence.
Ugh.
Convince Prudence to join the Church of Starry Wisdom, or replace the governor with a doppelganger.
I feel like the top one is probably influence.
I'm
spamming
influence
that.
champion of the universe.
You are the people's champion, Kyle.
If you smell what the crisper drawer is cooking.
It's nothing.
It's nothing.
It's cool in there.
At some point during the gala, Prudence suddenly looks at her watch and rushes outside. Governor Bennett gives an embarrassed smile and explains that she believes that to see the first star that appears after dark will bring her luck. You graciously take your leave and saunter outside. You sit next to Prudence and talk about the stars and their powers. Soon she's eating right out of your hand. She's a bird.
Good.
Or a horse.
Or a horse. The anti-bird.
The only creature I feel I can trust anymore.
Just look at those eyes. Sorry. The next day, you introduce her at a church meeting. Not long after that, she's rising within the circles of the cult, and soon after, Governor Bennett started to make an appearance at meetings. Gained 2 influence, because I needed it.
Nice, though.
Reminds me of
And you got some
Jenny
money.
Slate.
It was getting a bit stuffy inside. You decided to take a break from the banquet to enjoy the cool night air. With the party still in full swing behind you, take the time to admire the mansion's beautifully cultivated garden. Beautiful, except for that one ugly tree. It almost seemed as though it was looking straight at you. Creepy. Your stomach tightened as the dark silhouette started to move, and you realized the time had come to pay the dark young its due. I will offer it an acolyte, because Nick didn't.
Yeah, try it.
Fortunately, the cult had no end to new, misguided individuals, and the little sycophants were never that far off. Within seconds, one of them had answered your call, only to scream and disappear, headfirst into a giant maw. Lose 1 influence. You absentmindedly wondered how many acolytes ended their careers, as feet sticking out of the mouth of an eldritch horror were quickly decided, who cares? Fail.
Aw.
Because always, apparently. I don't think the mic picked that up. You're quite far away.
I will show you how Grimsy will play this game.
Welcome back to Grimsy Plays.
No, Grimsy is not playing this game. This game plays by Grimsy's rules.
God damn it. This is the best, worst character that's ever happened.
My game.
So I'm gonna call it now. Episode 1, 7 views. Episode 2, 2 views. Episode 3, none views.
-1 views.
4 views. It's gonna be us.
It's Kyle, making sure we didn't say anything too terrible.
On camera.
Yep.
As long as Nikki cuts it out. I wasn't paying attention. That one.
You gotta pay attention to us.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Whatever.
Fortunately for you, is the Guardians seem to have gone hunting for fresh essence, and you can peruse the dark grimoires at your leisure. Again to knowledge.
Hey, you did it.
Oh my god, it's so much
See what happens when I
better
don't
this game.
I
try!
was gonna say it's like Monster Prom.
If
you try and
Lors. Sorry.
It's
I
still
want to say
worth it.
the only
I'm
time I
Adam
can
Green.
Succeed is if you're just not coloning.
or stringently following a guide,
Yeah.
like to the letter.
Who would do?
All of us. Every playthrough.
It's fine. No one will ever watch this. Not even Laura.
It's true. Especially not Laura.
She's a girl. That's it.
But
Don Watson from Super Mega.
he's the one perfect congregant. He's stinking rich, believed and tends to blah blah blah.
Tenets of the church.
Yeah, it's hard to read.
They're real words.
At least the ones which were publicly known, and he would do anything to further the faith. What an idiot. You just had to betray that trust. I mean, it would be criminal not to. Because he believes in monotheism. Only fools turn to religion for purpose.
Just saying, you have to find some way to keep the Thetans away.
My intellect is the only church I need. While you fools studied the Bible, I was studying the blade.
I only need 10 days to keep my demons at bay.
I have the power of God and anime on my side.
I do a really low front kick. Hey, now you could convince him that he truly pious congregant should be wearing the Ankh of Renew.
Monotheism. Whack.
Whack! Polytheism, that's
Whack.
what that. You totally just made that up, but if you could code an amulet with progeny spores, they would soak into the skin of whoever wears it. With any luck, his mansion would become a breeding ground for the little darlings. Oh, and how Mom would adore a new nursery. Alternatively, you could just ask for more money. I mean, the guy was totally in the church's pocket, and you would have to really... you would have to try really hard to screw this up. Create an Ankh or ask for money.
I think the top one's probably magic.
I'm good at magic.
You are pretty good at magic.
I'm good at magic. Well, the first trick was going to be taking progeny spores and then doing the amulet with them. How? No, you didn't know much about science. Whatever, but you knew from the first grade that if you wanted to coat something, it had to be a liquid. Smart, you said out loud as you tapped the
Is
side
that
of
at
your
you at
head.
work?
Yeah.
Smart, science,
Oh,
Laura.
Dump this liquid sugar into my eyes.
Pour one container here. Pour.
To my eyes.
It's the only thing.
That coats me with glucose.
That's like 6 inside jokes piled inside each other.
Yep.
Oof.
Grabbing sulfuric acid, you dipped the spores in it and coated the amulet. The sizzling sound probably meant it was working. And needless to say, you had killed all the spores, but at least Don and his entire family were wearing the amulet, so there's that. Gain 1 influence,
Aw.
but I fail.
But you still got a good
You
stat.
might still have a thing, and also it'll go to next.
Oh,
Boop.
Oh, it must be the rats.
must be the money.
It's Wiggins in the kitchen.
Must be the money.
He's eating my food. It's very rude. Everyone's a critic. Serve as a host or sacrifice your memories. Yep. You stare in horror at a sight you never witnessed before. A needle like proboscis as thick as your thumb folded out. One of the tentacles. Segmented tube breached over your head, and with a wet squelching sound it struck the back of your skull. There was an intense pressure with each successive suckling sound. Darkness started to close in on you.
Hello, darkness,
Use
my old
knowledge.
friend.
It's okay. And caught yourself staring into nothingness and couldn't quite remember what you were doing here. Couldn't be that important then. You smiled as you went back to your bedroom.
I still think this is just you at work.
Gain 1 sanity. I fail.
Nikki's turn.
Nikki's turn.
Nikki's turn.
It's just me at work. I just wait.
Yeah, basically.
Yep. Just throw a bunch of chemicals in a fucking beaker and hope it doesn't create a
Pour 'em back.
cloud of poison.
Yeah, just pour them back and forth.
I can mix this bleach and this ammonia right.
If I do that, I can clean the ceilings. I crank up the Jordan Peterson loud enough.
You have seen so much and you feel a fragile hold on reality slipping. Sometimes spent in the asylum has given you more insight to the human mind and helped you achieve some inner peace. Gain 1 knowledge and 2 sanity.
If I want to gain insight into the human mind, I just listen to Paul Joseph Watson.
I was gonna say Joe Rogan.
Deep below Arkham Asylum, you are busy brewing a potion that you read about in Phtagn.
He's too much of a centrist for my liking.
I think it's narcotic.
Narcotic manuscripts.
Like pneumonia.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a silent P.
Yeah.
Y'all motherfuckers
No,
ever
the P
tried
was all on the
DMT?
The manuscripts weren't clear about the effect of the potion, but it was very specific about the ingredients. I don't have the money. Substitute.
That always works.
I have Newt. Well, there's a patient called Newton, and he has a glass eye.
There you go.
Finally, your potion was ready. You stare at the glass, eye bobbing in the murky liquid, almost completely obscured by a blue button and piece of copper wire. Bottoms up! The liquid scratches as it goes down your throat. A bit like drinking sandpaper, you think. When nothing happens, you decide to chalk this up as a learning experience. Gain 1 knowledge. Oh. Arkham Sanitarium was designed to keep people from getting out. Even though that was the case, it was also pretty hard to get in. So imagine your surprise while working the latest experiment 4 floors underground, locked behind a 13-inch steel door, when you heard a guttural growl emanating from behind you.
You seem
You sigh
hungry.
as you turn to see the dark young. I'm gonna pay a pound of flesh.
I almost feel like there's just no winning.
You don't know that. Shakily, you stretch out your arm towards the monstrosity. A wet tentacle gingerly cuts around your arm. The slimy wetness is strangely reassuring. You let out a stifled scream as a hidden mouth bites through your finger, but the pain quickly subsides as the beast's secretions numb and cauterize the wound. Lose 1 performance and 1 sanity. With the price paid, the dark young melts back into the shadows. Well, at least I have a few more where that came from. You smirk as you wrap your tender stump in a handkerchief. What?
Alright.
Whatever.
I got one.
Hooray, you did it.
Hooray.
I'm losing.
Oh,
it?
who's it?
Who's it?
Who is it?
Player voting.
Oh, good.
Hooray.
Pick her to sacrifice.
Oh, it's me. Who to sacrifice?
Who are
It
we
could very easily be
sacrificing?
nobody.
I thought there was a timer. I got scared.
Nick has the most points.
Hey, you do you, baby.
Does he?
I don't really know what any of this means,
Tell
so
him that, Laura.
I just whatever. Colin, choose your sacrifice.
There you go.
Laura, choose your sacrifice.
Me.
You sacrificing yourself?
Yes.
You have to hit right button.
How do I do that?
With the right button.
You can pick yourself.
See, this is why girls shouldn't play video games.
They don't know their right from their left.
I will Colin.
It is time.
It is time.
Control the A, please.
Die.
All right, well, this one's just completely locked out.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. This is the one I want.
Well, you
Dang.
definitely have the subset.
Well, that's something.
Potentially.
Colin, you going for... You don't actually have all that much insanity.
I don't.
What do you have the most of? Influence, I already took that. You also have some performance.
He can do I think the Vestiments was insanity.
Oh, yeah, but he only
has one. And one of you has way more of that.
I think I might still have like 4 or something.
Bulls!
I would have gone with the Wailing Gramophone because that one's performancy. Laura has 4 insanity and 8 money.
I will
And
do
6 magic.
the Vestiments of Edge because it's...
Yeah, that makes sense. You have a bunch of insanity.
She is cosplaying as my favorite snack.
Yeah.
The carrots I eat from betwixt my toes.
Perhaps women are worthwhile after all. But that remains to be seen.
As long as they let me see their feet.
Don't block me on Twitter.
You can't possibly block all of my alt accounts.
You reckon?
Oh, Nikki first.
One is left to wonder what you thought was going to happen. Did you think that the day of a ritual would arrive and everyone just say, hey, we know your mental stability is a bit iffy, but how about we give you a pass on reading from the creepy skin-covered book? Clearly that wasn't going to happen, so when your time came to read from the book, you noped right the fuck out of there. Oh.
Nice.
Noped out.
Nikki dipped.
All right.
Nicky dipped.
Well, it's better than dying or something.
I guess.
Your mother had always told you that you were special, so imagine your surprise when you found out that in a cult, being the blessed one was a matter of opinion, and the more people who were of that opinion, the better. Turns out no one was of the opinion that you were blessed, or even particularly important for that matter. So as the ritual began, you stood at the back, proudly defiant in your "My Mom Says I'm Special" t-shirt.
It is you.
Yeah.
It's me. How much? You exclaimed at the fat Portuguese official standing in front of you. Oh, did I not have enough money? Damn it. The greasy man just sat there smiling. I could buy 20 rubies for that price, you cried indignantly. Sim, but how many of those would be black? He beamed, giving you a toothy grin. Leaving your shady business deal, you stepped back into the humid night of air of Lorenzo Marquez.
Marcus.
You rifled through your pockets and pulled out the couple of moldy dollars you had stashed there for a rainy day. I really thought this would be enough, you defeatedly mumbled to yourself. Then, lifting your head, you smiled at what fate had planned for you across the road. Now, with the ritual about to start, you tightly gripped your atame, shooing away the flies buzzing around your black ruby you had transfixed into the pommel. Bought from a tiny candy store in Mozambique, the dark red candy was already becoming sticky. Still, you were convinced that no one would notice the difference, unless they licked the pommel, of course, in which case, you were screwed. But honestly, what were the odds of that happening?
Oof.
Major fail. So clearly I needed money on top of influence for that one. Shit. Colin!
The ground beneath the ritual site was littered with the corpses of those you had lured here to die. The plan has been quite simple. At the first sign of danger, you would raise the corpses and unleash them on your enemies. The luring and murdering bit had gone great, but with every gullible fool that followed you into the forest only to die in some creative way, a nagging sensation started to grow within you.
Did you develop a conscience?
Assuming that it must be your conscience,
Damn it.
you buried the feeling along with your victims. The night before the ritual, however, you sat bolt upright in bed as you identified the gnawing sensation.
Indigestion.
You didn't know any necromancy. I mean, you were really great at the making dead part, but you actually had no clue how to reanimate a corpse.
Oh no, I should have taken that one.
Heck, the last spell you had tried had involved animating a broom to clean up the sanctum, that nearly ended in a flooded basement. Well, what are the odds anyone would be stupid enough to attack the ritual anyway? You smiled and went back to sleep. Major fail. As the ritual concludes, the anticipation becomes palpable. Suddenly, a cultist next to you drops forward onto his face. Poof. Before the stunned man could even react, he is pulled screaming off into the darkness. All around you, the cultists are pounced by dark horrors and pulled screaming beyond your vision. The Dark Young. An icy dread fills your chest. You didn't bring a sacrifice. With no one prepared to stop them, and the few who tried could do little damage, and even if a dark one miraculously fell, another took its place. You cover your ears, huddling in a corner, trying to drown out the cacophony of screams as you wait for the inevitable. Epic fail.
Cool.
We lose!
Yay.
We lose horribly. Click to continue.
Click. Silence descends upon the ritual, and even the Dark Young stop to stare at the blood-soaked tree. As the minutes passed, the wind blew wistfully through the trees, and makeshift bone chimes rattled in harmony to mock your failure. Slowly, one by one, mournful howls emanated from the Dark Young, and as they lamented, another failure and another aeon of waiting. You almost felt sorry for the brutes, but then suddenly their howls turned to maddened roars of rage as they turned on your assembled group. Each Dark Young grabbed as many cultists as they could catch with its whipping limbs, and then returned to the depths with their writhing and screaming victims in tow. Mother was not the forgiving type, and this disappointed mother was about to give some of her children a whoop-ass.
I like that sentence.
In the end,
You sat huddled and screaming under a rotted trunk for what felt like hours. There was no sacrifice, and the Dark Young were not pleased. And the screams of the others, as they were mutilated by the monsters, tore at your mind. In the cruelest joke ever, the Dark Young had left you there, hands covering your ears and screaming till your throat bled. The sight of that massacre had scarred you more than any of the horrifying things you'd witnessed as a cultist. Now sitting in your little room at Arkham Asylum, you sway back and forth, not speaking of that day. In fact, after that day, you never spoke again, at all.
Oh.
nice.
The ritual may have ended, but the case of the New England forest murders was about to start.
A few months after the ritual, hikers found the remains of the missing senator in the forest. An investigation was launched, and the bodies of missing actors, judges, and even a couple of Arkham PD police officers were found buried in the clearing.
PD police officers.
Police department police officer, yeah.
Yes.
The FBI Bureau of Investigation launched a massive manhunt for the individual they had dubbed Lumberjack, or Lumberjill.
This game is overly inclusive and pandering to the SJWs.
Man, they were wrong in guessing my gender, you laughed. In fact, you laughed so hard you choked on the grape you were eating. You died right there in your apartment! And the case of the New England forest murders was never solved. Guys, I win!
You died.
I got away with so many murders!
That's why I always skin my grapes before I eat them so they slide down my esophagus.
I believe you mean mother skins the grapes. She cuts all of my grapes diagonally.
I won't eat them unless they are cut at a 45-degree angle.
Laura?
Upset that no one took any interest in you during the ritual, you decided that no one should live life without feeling special. Reforming from your wicked ways, you turned over a new leaf, bought an orphanage, and gave those kids all love and care they needed. 50 years later, lying on your deathbed, you were surrounded by the doctors, lawyers, and confident members of society you had helped raise. You're welcome.
Aw,
I'm a great person.
That ending was totally gay.
Being a failed cultist was hard. It wasn't really the kind of thing you could add to your resume as soon as you were penniless and starving on the streets. You tried to fall back on your stealing skills, but since you were locally known as that clumsy beggar, you didn't have much luck. Fortunately for you, you were caught during a major heist trying to steal candy from a baby. After a stint in jail, you left prison reformed with a new purpose in life. You became a pillar of the community, supporting the weak and the needy.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
The fuck is this? You guys get like wholesome happy endings? I died choking
choke
on a grape.
and Kyle
My
loses
throat
his
bled
shit.
until I never spoke again and lived my life in an asylum.
I had a loving family.
Gross. Can you hit the main menu button, please?
Yes, I can.
So that was the worst playthrough of Fhtagn ever. I hope you guys enjoyed it somehow.
We did.
We enjoyed way too much of it. Chances are pretty good that we're going to play a more serious one at some point in the near future.
Yeah, no.
Oh, definitely.
Well, that one probably went up before this one even. But either way, we had a lot of fun. Hope you guys did too, and hope you're idiots.
Big old thanks once again to the awesome folks over at Design Imps. Go find them on Twitter and go pay for the game somewhere.
And share your best Grimsy memory in the comments.
Yeah.
Everyone has one. Mine was the crisper.
Nick, please put up a slideshow of all of the Grimsy MVP moments.
I don't have that much time in the end card.
Here's
And
Grimsy.
now, Grimsy will take us out of the episode by reading a small passage from his favorite book, Mein Kampf.
Do best Spuds!
Good, everybody!